This is a management science presentation in which we aim at analyzing Apple in the context of being a digital business. To start, let's first define what we mean when talking about digital businesses. A digital business is such that it integrates digital and physical resources in order to create a competitive advantage. Internally, it could be for innovative strategies or processes. On the consumer-facing side, it refers to connected products and new experiences. Such statement means that digital business makes us of increasingly digital resources or services combined with big data, more particularly by integrating more and more real-time data. For instance, this could be achieved by using cloud technology in combination with the Internet of Things and/or machine learning. Consequently, a digital business differentiates itself from an e-business for a more automated and sophisticated decision-making process, superior in speed and performance. Let's now move on an initial analysis of the Fortune 100 most admired companies. Considering the analysis from the McKinsey report, we can see that established leaders have a high digital quotient. Since most of Fortune 100 companies are established leaders, we can assume that the majority of those have a high DQ. To support this argument, we use the 4 criteria for assessing the digital quotient of a business according to McKinsey, and we performed a quid analysis for each criteria. Looking at the primary companies mentioned, we can quickly identify these are indeed companies on the Fortune 100. Thanks to the company overview, we can observe that iPhone sales represent the largest share of Apple's revenue. When looking at the business model canvas, what attracted our attention is that both hardware and software developments are Apple key activities. This is very particular to the Apple ecosystem, and we will come back on this topic later. The complexity when it comes to the competitors' landscape is that Apple is involved in many different industries. So we focused our analysis based on the 3 main competitors identified: Intel, Microsoft, and Samsung. We now aim at assessing in which ways Apple is a digital business. To meet the increasing demand for cloud-based technology, Apple has invested $1.9 billion to build 2 data centers in Europe. In addition, Apple is improving its machine learning-based voice recognition software Siri by uploading the voice data captured to the cloud analytics platform. Additionally, Apple has launched HealthKit to act as a repository for data. Using real-time information, patients can now discover when they are in danger of having a heart attack. Apple also launched ResearchKit, an open-source software which allows researchers to gather a massive amount of data about movement and health measurement in order to get insight into diseases such as diabetes or cancer. Finally, Apple is becoming more involved in wearable technology, with new patents such as the iRing. The Apple iRing is supposed to listen to voice dictation and track hand motions while writing. We now would like to understand what makes Apple rank number 1 in Fortune list since 8 years. Last year, Apple CEO Tim Cook said that Apple can be distinguished from others due to the company's innovation expertise in both hardware and software. Many competitors such as Amazon or Google are now trying to create their own ecosystem as well. However, Apple had a head start with the success of its iPod, iPhones, and iTunes software. With this closed ecosystem advantage, Apple has more control on its value chain. As a consequence, the IT research firm Gartner ranked Apple's supply chain as number 1 globally in 2014 for the 3rd time in a row. Let's now look at how Apple and its industry may change in the future. Using network analysis, 3 topic trends were observed: Apple TV, electric cars, and patents. In a timeline view, we can see that the recent launch of the Apple TV has gained a lot of attention recently. Through further investigation, we have found that Apple's digital strategy to disrupt the television industry is software. The key disruption lies in the newly announced TVOs. It enables developers to work upon apps tailored to enhance the TV watching experience and create brand new services. Another key focus is the long-anticipated Apple Car, which we will come back to later. Thanks to Apple's patent news, we can see that Apple has recently filed patents for flexible smartphone, smart glasses, 3D displays, and a smart ring device as mentioned above. Now, we would like to introduce 3 interesting opportunities for Apple. With the Apple Car, there is an enormous amount of data involved with the vast number of sensors transferring data in real time, the navigation system, and the use of Siri for controlling temperature, radio, or light, for example. Moreover, there is an incredibly high level of interconnectedness between all the systems of a semi-autonomous or autonomous car. The main factor being the intelligent connections to other cars. On top of that, machine learning and cloud computing will be the main technologies behind Siri. When looking at the algorithmic marketing, we discovered that 2 months ago, Apple has filed a patent that would allow it to only serve mobile phone ads for goods and services which particular users can afford. It can do this by tracking the credit-debit card balance if the user allows so. The software is based on machine learning and enables Apple to send real-time offers targeted to individuals' customers for as self-learning process. Finally, we believe that IoT combined with real-time data and wearable tech creates the opportunity to significantly improve in-store customer experience. Main factors here are automated mobile payment checkout, which means that the customer can just walk out and does not need to queue up, and customized real-time in-store promotions to be sent to the iPhone. The main challenge we identify is that Apple is becoming more and more dependent on the iPhone. As you can see, the share of iPhone sales tripled over 5 years. In addition, we found that 92% of the total profit in 2014 came from the smartphone segment compared to only 65% in 2013. That could represent a risk for the company. In fact, we know that the iPhone is expensive, so we wondered, could iPhone high prices be a threat for Apple business in coming years? Thanks to a quick search, we discovered a whole cluster referring to the Chinese smartphone maker Xiaomi. While Xiaomi could be a threat for Apple, it sells similar smartphones at nearly half the price. In parallel, we looked at how public interest in this topic has trended over time. The yellow dots represent the articles comparing Apple, Xiaomi, and smartphone prices. We can observe that the number of highly shared articles is much lower between 2013 and 2014 than between 2014 and 2015. This means that people are increasingly showing interest in the comparison between iPhone and smartphone prices in China. And this already represented a heavy impact for Apple. The company was surpassed in 2014 by Xiaomi, which became #1 smartphone firm in China. In summary, Apple is increasingly becoming dependent on the iPhone sales, while there is also a tendency in public interest to challenge iPhone high prices. To close, here are our strategic recommendations. First, try out the earlier mentioned futuristic in-store experience in a showroom or selected Apple. Second, implement this concept in all Apple Store. However, the real potential lies in our third recommendation. Explain this concept to a retail ecosystem by implementing it not only in Apple stores but a variety of merchants, such as supermarkets, restaurants, or fuel stations. Apple could not only generate massive revenue by charging a transaction fee, for instance, but it would also be extremely positive PR. Finally, use the campaign as a way to enhance the competitive advantage of iPhones to face the low-priced smartphone makers' competition. So now imagine, a young man goes into the supermarket. IoT technology registers what products he gives most attention to using location-based and possibly head tracking. Thanks to his real-time data, he receives promotion offers for products that he is actually interested in right now. Then he bypassed the long queue and directly walked out the door. In fact, a near-field communication system based on real-time data and IoT had automatically completed his mobile payment transaction. Wouldn't that be great? Thank you for your attention.